What if I told you that the thing you've been quietly struggling with every single morning, that slow, frustrating, uncomfortable feeling you don't even like to talk about, yeah, that one? It's not actually your age doing this to you. It's your habits, and not the obvious ones either. I mean, the sneaky, everyday things you've been told are good for you. Sounds kind of messed up, right? But stay with me, because this is where it gets real. Because a lot of people after 60 wake up and just accept it. They sit there, staring at the wall, waiting, hoping today will be different. But it never is. And slowly, without even noticing, they start building their day around it. Avoiding certain foods, skipping outings, feeling heavy, irritated, low energy. And the worst part? They think this is just how it is now. No, it's not. And I'm going to prove it to you, not with some fancy medical speech, but with something real, a story. Because a few months ago, there was this guy, let's call him Frank. 68 years old, retired, lived a pretty normal life, nothing extreme. He wasn't unhealthy, not at all. In fact, if you asked him, he'd tell you he was doing everything right. He ate his fiber cereal every morning like clockwork, drank his coffee, took his time, read the news. But every single day? Same problem? Nothing moved the way it should. Sometimes it took forever. Sometimes it just didn't happen at all. And that feeling, you know the one. It follows you the whole day. That uncomfortable pressure, that bloated feeling, that low-key irritation that just sits there. And it messes with your mood more than people realize. And Frank, he just accepted it. Until one random afternoon, his friend said something that kinda hit him sideways. He said, "Man, you're not stuck. You're just doing a few things your body doesn't like anymore." And at first, Frank laughed it off, like, yeah, okay, sure. But that sentence stuck. It sat in his head. Because deep down, he knew something felt off. So he started paying attention, not doing anything crazy, just noticing. And what he realized, it shocked him. Because the first thing he noticed was his so-called healthy routine. That fiber-heavy breakfast he never skipped. Turns out, it wasn't helping him anymore. See, nobody really explains this part. After 60, your digestive system changes. It slows down a bit, becomes more sensitive, needs more balance. But instead of adjusting, most people double down on what they've always been told. More fiber, more fiber. But here's the catch. Not all fiber works the same. And when you overload your system with dry, processed fiber without enough hydration or balance, it doesn't move things along. It just sits there, heavy, dense, like traffic that isn't going anywhere. And that's exactly what was happening to Frank. Every morning, he was basically adding more weight to a system that was already struggling to move. And once he realized that, he didn't panic. He didn't go extreme. He just made a small shift. He swapped that dry cereal for something softer, more natural, something with water in it. Fruits, warm meals, simple stuff. And within days, not weeks, days, he felt a difference. And that's when it hit him. Wait, what else have I been doing wrong? And that question right there, that's the one that changes everything. Because once you start questioning habits you thought were correct, you open the door to real change. And that's exactly what happened next. He looked at his water intake. Or honestly, the lack of it. Because like a lot of people, he didn't feel thirsty, so he assumed he was fine. But the truth is, after a certain age, your body doesn't signal thirst the same way. It gets quieter. And if you're not paying attention, you end up running on low without even realizing it. And your body? It adapts. It starts pulling water from wherever it can, including your colon, which means what's supposed to move easily, doesn't. It becomes hard, slow, difficult. And yeah, nobody likes talking about this part, but it's real. And once Frank understood that, he made another simple change. He started drinking more water, not in a forced, annoying way, just consistently. Glass here, a glass there, especially in the morning. And again, within days, things started shifting. His body responded, like it had been waiting for this all along. And that's when he realized something that most people miss. Your body isn't working against you. It's reacting to you. And if you give it what it actually needs, it responds faster than you expect. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Because Frank wasn't done yet. Not even close. Because the next thing he discovered, it wasn't just what he was adding. It was what he wasn't removing. Those little comfort foods he never thought twice about. The packaged snacks, the frozen meals, the quick fixes. They were convenient, sure, but they were also quietly throwing his system off balance. Because your gut, it's not just a pipe, it's an ecosystem full of bacteria that actually help you digest, absorb, and move things along. And when you feed it processed stuff all the time, that balance gets messed up. The good bacteria weaken, the bad ones take over, and everything slows down. Not dramatically, just enough to make a difference. Enough to make you feel off every single day. And that's exactly what was happening. And once again, Frank didn't go extreme. He didn't cut everything overnight. He just started choosing better more often. Real food, simple meals, less packaging. And slowly but surely, his system started waking up again, like it was remembering how to work properly. And that's the moment things really started to change. Not just physically, but mentally too. Because when your body feels lighter, your mood changes. Your energy shifts. You feel more like yourself again. And that's something a lot of people don't even realize they've lost. Until it comes back. And that's the part nobody really prepares you for. Not the discomfort, not the frustration, but the quiet way it starts affecting everything else. Your mood, your patience, your willingness to go out, to enjoy things, to feel normal. Because when your body feels off, even in a small way, it lingers. It follows you. And for Frank, that was the moment he realized this wasn't just about digestion anymore. This was about getting his life back. And once that clicked, he paid even closer attention. Because there were still a couple things left. Things he never thought could be connected. Like how much time he was spending sitting. And I know, that sounds almost too simple. Like, come on, sitting can't be the problem. But think about it. Your body is built to move. Movement is what signals your system to keep things flowing, to keep things active. And when you sit for hours, day after day, especially after meals, your body slows down. Not just a little, but enough to create that sluggish, stuck feeling that builds over time. And Frank? He had fallen into that exact pattern. Long mornings in his chair, afternoons watching TV, evenings just relaxing. Nothing wrong with that. It's normal. But his body was paying the price. So he didn't suddenly start running marathons or hitting the gym like some fitness influencer. No, he kept it simple. Just a short walk after meals. Sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes 10. Nothing crazy, but consistent. And that small shift, it acted like a signal to his body. Like flipping a switch, telling his system, hey, we're active again, let's move. And slowly, naturally, things started working the way they were supposed to. No forcing, no straining, just flow. And for the first time in years, he felt that ease again. That normal rhythm that most people take for granted. And it surprised him how something so small could make such a big difference. But there was still one last piece. And honestly, this one hit the hardest. because it wasn't about food or water or movement. It was about listening, or more accurately, not listening, because for years, Frank had been ignoring his body's signals. You know how it goes. You feel the urge, but you're busy, or it's not the right time, or you just think, I'll go later. And later turns into hours, sometimes even the next day. And your body? It adapts to that. It starts holding back, delaying signals, getting out of sync, until eventually that natural rhythm just fades. And you're left wondering why things don't feel the same anymore. And when Frank realized that, it was almost frustrating, because it was so simple, so obvious, and yet so easy to overlook. So he made one final change. He stopped delaying, stopped negotiating with his body. When the signal came, he responded. No excuses, no waiting. And at first, it felt different, almost inconvenient. But then something incredible happened. His body started trusting him again. The signals became clearer, more regular, more predictable. And just like that, the rhythm came back. Not perfectly, not instantly, but steadily, naturally, like it was always meant to be. And that's when everything came together. Not one big change, not some miracle solution, but a series of small shifts that worked with his body instead of against it. And the result? No more frustration, no more long, uncomfortable mornings, no more planning his day around something he couldn't control. Just ease, lightness, freedom. And yeah, maybe that sounds dramatic, but if you've ever dealt with this, you know exactly what I mean. Because it's not just physical, it's mental, it's emotional. It's the difference between starting your day feeling stuck or starting your day feeling clear. And here's the thing. If you've been sitting there this whole time thinking, this sounds like me, then don't ignore that feeling. Seriously. Because most people do. They hear something that makes sense, something that resonates, and then they go right back to their routine. Nothing changes. And weeks go by, months go by, sometimes years. But it doesn't have to be that way. Not for you. Because now you know. You've seen what's possible with just a few simple adjustments. And no, it's not about being perfect. It's not about cutting everything out or changing your entire life overnight. It's about awareness, about paying attention, about giving your body what it actually needs instead of what you've always been told it needs. And if you take even one thing from this, just one, and actually apply it, you'll feel the difference. Maybe not instantly, maybe not dramatically at first, but enough to notice, enough to know you're on the right track. And once you feel that, you won't want to go back, because feeling better becomes addictive in the best way. And listen, if this made you think, even for a second, if it made you realize something about your own habits, drop a comment below. Just something simple like, I needed this, or I'm starting today, because saying it out loud, even in a comment, makes it real. It creates a small commitment. And trust me, that matters more than you think. And don't keep this to yourself either. Share it with someone who might be going through the same thing. A friend, a parent, someone who's been quietly dealing with this and thinking they're alone. Because they're not, and neither are you. And hey, this is just the beginning. There's so much more your body is capable of. You just have to stop working against it and start working with it. And when you do, everything changes. Maybe not overnight, but sooner than you think. And when it does, you'll look back and wonder why nobody told you this earlier. But now you know. So the real question is, what are you going to do with it? So here is the STUGCSDIO and keep your voice slightly slow, but intense at emotional points. Speed up during storytelling. Add pauses after powerful lines like wrong. Ed wrong. And your body isn't working against you. It's reacting to you. This creates curiosity loops and boosts retention. Use zoom cuts, subtitles, and soft background music that builds emotion. End with a direct eye contact CTA for maximum engagement.